What's going on there, friends? My name is M2D8 and welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker for the Nintendo Wii U. We're off of last time. We continue exploring more of the Great Sea. We went from Headstone Island to Bomb Island, and now in this part, we're going to be exploring more of the map. And you may actually notice in the beginning of this video, I am starting up inside Dragon Roost Cavern. Why am I back here in Dragon Roost Cavern? Well, it turns out when I was looking through, when I was taking notes during my practice run, I found out that I was missing 2 treasure chests in Dragon Roost Island. And obviously, by 2 treasure chests, I don't mean the maps or compasses, because yes, those are the 2 treasure chests those are the 2 other chests that I am missing. But no, I'm not gonna bother picking them up because I already finished through the dungeon, which means it's gonna be pretty much useless. So one of those treasure chests that you saw me pick up was a treasure chart. There is a treasure chart there are actually, to get that treasure chart, I would assume you would have to get normally you would have to get a bucko stick, light it on fire, and throw it at that wooden wall so that you could get it. But because at this point, since I already have fire arrows, I decided to shoot a fire arrow at the wall so I could burn it down like that without having to use a bucko stick. Then if you come over here to this room where you have to fight through the bokoblins in order to progress to the next room, there is actually a lightable torch that you would have to get a bucko stick in that room, light it up, light one torch up to light the other torch. But once again, since I already have fire arrows, that's not a huge issue. So all I had to do is just shoot a fire arrow at the torch, and then the chest spawns, and it contains a treasure chart. So there were 2 treasure charts that I did miss in Dragon Roost Cavern, of course, it was. This is a semi-blind Let's Play, so I did not know that I missed two treasure chests unless I had a compass on me. But I don't have a compass on me at all, so I didn't know. That's what I get for trying to be a little cocky about thinking, hey, okay, I got all the items here. I don't have to come back here for any reason whatsoever. Turns out I did have to. And actually, I am missing some chests in the Forest Haven and the Tower of Gods, which will be shown in later videos as I'm continuing through the world exploration. But I'm not going back for them right away because according to my route. So I will eventually get to those when I'm actually there. All right. So then after that, I actually saved and quit in Dragon Roost Cavern, so that way I can go back. I can get out of the dungeon quicker like that. So it's called save warping. I know I did mention in the first episode that I wasn't going to do that at all for LP purposes, but I don't want to walk all the way back from the beginning of the dungeon. Plus when you save and quit and start your file again in a dungeon, you're back in the beginning of the dungeon anyway. So it's just more convenient like that. There are of course warp pots that I could have taken, but oh well, it's fine. So coming out of Dragon Roost Cavern, in the top floor of Dragon Roost Island, you saw like a little ledge on like the sides of Dragon Roost Island. It's actually a really well hidden ledge that you don't bother to check unless you really want to observe everything. And all you really get there in this place is just an orange rupee for gliding your way over there. So gliding your way over there can be a little painful because there are a few cargo rocks nested on the peaks of Dragon Roost for whatever reason. I guess Ritos can get along with cargo rocks, but for us, we don't get along with cargo rocks really well. So we just get rid of them while we're trying to make our way to 100 free currencies of money. So I don't know. Okay, so I'm making my way here to 7-Star Isle. There is nothing of interest in 7-Star Isle itself, besides the fact that there are actually 3 platforms, which is where I'm currently standing on right now. on these 3 platforms, we have in order to spawn the chests on these platforms, we have to kill off these Wizzrobes right here. And you can either fire or ice arrows will kill Wizzrobes in 1 hit. Well, not really. Well, not all of them die in 1 hit, but for the most part, fire and ice arrows do more damage than regular arrows. So I would recommend using either one of those arrows to deal with these Wizzrobes. There is another platform that I passed over at some point during this world exploration where it had a platform with Wizzrobes. That one is a pain. That one is a huge pain in the butt to deal with. But all you really get in that platform is just a Boko Baba Seed or something useless like that, which is why I didn't bother to go to that platform at all, and nor do I plan on showing it at all during this world exploration. So So I just picked up the 2 treasure chests here. I believe this treasure chest that I'm about to head over to is the important one. Okay, no, it's not. Alright. So the 3 treasure chests you can get on this platform is a gold feather, a treasure chart, and 20 rupees, and that's all you get. So that's pretty much the platform there. Then I'm actually gonna search around using my telescope, and you're gonna see why I was searching around. And no, I'm still not gonna explore the island itself, the 7-star Isles, because once again, like I said, there's nothing of interest. There's a bunch of cargo rocks, and that's really it. But there's something else here on in the square of 7-star Isles that I'm looking for right now. And it took me quite a while to find it, but eventually I did find it pretty soon-ish. Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking for it. Looking for it. There it is. Okay. All right. So remember during the episode where I was filling up my map? Well, and I said that there were 4 big octos. Well, I'm actually wrong about that. I was reminded. I received a comment on that episode telling me that there are actually 3 types of big octos. I'm gonna go ahead and find the comment right now while I'm fighting this current big octo right now. You're actually gonna notice this big octo has a lot of eyes, which means it's a harder big octo to fight because you have to chuck more bombs at it. But thankfully, it's not really. Big octos aren't really hard. There's actually I actually found out that you don't just need bombs in order to get. That you don't actually just need bombs in order to beat the big octos. You can actually use arrows on these guys, as well as the boomerang. The boomerang and arrows can damage big octos. However, it's kind of a pain to deal to actually do. It's actually kind of a pain to use those 2 methods. Because it takes multiple hits on the eyes if you want to use the boomerang or arrows on these things. So I just rather use bombs because bombs will deal with the eyes in 1 hit, and I believe it's faster to kill the big octos like that. So anyway, so the comments is read by. Well, okay. So the comment says that there are actually 6 big octos around the Great Sea. There's 1 with 4 eyes, there's 3 with 8 eyes, and then there's 12 and then there's 2 that have 12 eyes. This is one of the 2 big octos that I found that has 8 eyes, or that has 12 eyes on it. And the 12-eye big octos are the ones that matter the most. And the reason is because of this treasure chest that I'm about to pick up, and this treasure chest contains a piece of heart. So there are 2 big octos in the Great Sea that have 12 eyes, both of which contain pieces of heart. If you manage to beat both of them. The other big octos that I destroyed during my map completion episode were, well, I defeated 3 that had 8 and 1 that had 4. The 4-eye big octo was the one that gives you a magic upgrade. And then the 3 gives you an orange rupee. So that's why I thought to myself, Well, that's what I thought in that episode. That if you defeat all 4 big octos, that there are 4 big octos, and if you defeat all of them, you get a magic upgrade. But no, it turns out I was wrong about that. So thank you to whoever mentioned that in the comments. About the big octos, because I never knew, because I didn't know anything about the big octos until that episode, and until that episode where I was filling out my map. That's actually pretty useful. That's actually really helpful for me to know, because once again, this is semi-blind. If I didn't know that, I would be searching all over the map and never find that piece of heart that I just found. That I just got from defeating that big octo. So we're done with 7-star Isles. So we're done with everything there. So now I'm actually on my way. So I'm actually on Crescent Moon Island now. Crescent Moon Island is pretty straightforward. All there is just one treasure chest that contains a treasure chart. And there's also a submarine here that I'm inside right now. And this submarine is, well, there's a lot of imps in here. You just have to defeat, and you have to pretty much defeat, well, not really all of them, because there's no such thing as defeating every single imp in an area, because any area that has imps, they will all infinitely respawn for whatever good reason. So we just kill off all the imps right here. And then something good will happen. Man, that was a nice like combo right there. Holy moly! That's what happens when you're grouped up. When all the enemies are grouped up and you have a chance to do like a spin attack or some sort of horizontal swing, which is quite amazing. I would have to say. So yeah, Crescent Moon Island. Interesting enough, Crescent Moon Island is shaped like a moon. I hope that's not obvious enough, but the island itself is shaped like a moon, which is pretty awesome. Alright, so by defeating a lot of those imps, both ladders spawn so that way you could get out of here and get your reward. But first I picked up these crystal balls that some of these imps dropped when I defeated them. So I could get a bunch of pickups here, and see, this is the reason why I said that there's no such thing as defeating all the imps, because they will infinitely respawn, like no matter what you do. So there's actually an imp right here. I decided not to worry about him, and this is actually pretty funny. I actually took a screenshot of this animation right there, with that imp's head like clipped into the treasure chest like that. It is on Miiverse if you want to go ahead and check out that screenshot. I thought that was funny, but that was of course during my practice run. I didn't take the screenshot here obviously because I'm recording and I don't want to post on Miiverse during recording because that's I don't know. So we're done with Crescent Moon Island. There's not really, there wasn't much to offer in Crescent Moon Island, so that's that. Now we're gonna move on to an area that we've been to previously during the Let's Play, and that is Pawprint Isle. You may remember that we've been here earlier. We went underneath that little egg-shaped looking thing on that island there. And we got a piece of heart from there, as well as some rupees, and there was a bunch of choo-choos there, and it looked really cool on the inside. But there's actually more stuff that you could do here now that we're here, and we have the hook shots. So if you have the hook shot, you can go ahead and hook shot onto these trees over here, and make your way up to this part of the island, fall down this hole, and we'll see what we get. Okay, over here. This is actually quite painful. Well, at least the so there's more. So of course, in rooms like these, you have to do a bunch of combating. This time, we have Wizzrobes that are going to pretty much ruin your day. Well, not really. So these Wizzrobes, of course, have a lot of health. And in order to deal, and so it's gonna take more arrows for you to deal with these types of Wizzrobes. So it's gonna take like two fire or ice arrows, depending on whichever ones you want to use. These Wizzrobes will actually spawn enemies, so you have to not only just defeat the Wizzrobes, but also defeat the enemies here that they spawn. And as you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble because both of these are electric shoes, and electric shoes can be a little painful at times. Now, if you don't destroy Wizzrobes quick enough, they will respawn the enemies that you've defeated. You have to make sure you don't do that. Yeah, so you have to make sure you're quick enough at with this. So as you can see now they spawn Cargaroks. So I just defeated those, and then we have the Cobblins, and then we have those little spiky ball things. I never even know what they're called because they're like really strange enemies. And then we have Peahats, but thankfully no dark nuts. Otherwise, then that would be quite the problem there. Oh, and then we have Moblins, which is just great. I like how the Wizzrobes die whenever you kill a Wizzrobe. I like the sound. I like how they die. They make a really funny sound. Like they're like some sort of like walrus or something like that. I don't know how walrus sound. That's just a guess, a guesstimate. See hear that sound right there? I love that sound. It's pretty funny. One more Wizzrobe. This should be the last Wizzrobe that I deal with here, or maybe not if he spawns more Peahats here. I guess I was too slow, which is why he spawned more Peahats. But oh well, we defeated that guy. All right. So I have to pretty much. So now I have one more enemy to deal with, and that is the spiky ball thing right here. Get off me! Get off me! Get off me! There we go. And for that, we get ourselves a special reward for defeating all those enemies. What could that be? Well, you'll see. As soon as I get all these pickups here. I have a bunch of skull necklace, which is pretty good. All right, and with that, we get ourselves another treasure chart. So we're done with everything that there is to do here in Pawprint Isle. I actually don't know why I stood there for a second there. I guess I was looking at my notes to see what I wanted to see where I wanted to go next.